Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Dr. Rachel Borntrager joining us here live on the Zoom and the podcast today. Excited to have her here from wholeandwellco.com. That's the website. And we're talking all that she can help you with her company, and really looking for customized natural solutions to help you. Let me have her introduce herself. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I am Dr. Rachel Borntrager, Doctor of Natural Medicine. I am not a medical doctor, but a doctor of natural medicine. And I help people get to their root health issues so that they have energy to enjoy life.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we're excited to have you. Tell us a little bit more about your company.
Fantastic. So I am a single owner, operator, founder, and I started my business. My first career is in radiology. And with all of that, I have adopted children and biological children. And when I brought the adopted children into our family, it was a lot of things that we had to work through. So abandoned neglect, and being in a small rural area, working in radiology, you have your shift and call work. And knowing that when I'm gone, will mom actually come back? Just that whole atmosphere. So realizing that we are called to our children, we decided that I will step back from radiology for a moment. And in that process, I was able to lose 70 pounds, realizing what stress was doing to my body. And then I was on a mission. So like, if I can do it with 5 children and busy life, I wanted to go back to school to be an integrative health coach and help other people get to their root health issues and enjoy life. Because like, if you don't have energy to deal with your kids, then like there's a big problem. And so through that process, I continued to just navigate the whole thing, still doing a little bit of radiology, still doing my own business. And then a couple years ago, when my nephew at 14 months had an anaphylactic reaction to dairy, we did all of the traditional testings and how to help him. Wow. And there just wasn't a lot of help for him. Like, they weren't giving us guidance. And so, of course, my sister was like, you're the health coach, so tell me what to feed him. And I was like, because seriously, if I say one thing and he reacts, like, there's all of that. So I went with her to an appointment that we were able to get to his health root issues and realize what was causing his problems and help build him up with natural remedies. And he's, fast forward a couple years, he's doing phenomenal. Not again that I'm going to give him a glass of milk, but that being said, he has experienced grabbing his sisters because he's young and, kids are kids. He had a slight reaction, not an anaphylactic reaction. So there's definitely progress. So in that process, the doctor that helped my sister and her little boy was like, I want to teach you to do what I do. And I was like, first of all, I was like, I don't know if I can believe that, but I continue to pursue that and navigate through that. And now I am where I am today. I've passed my board of natural medicine earlier this year.
Amazing. This is great work that you're doing. And can I find out a little bit more what inspired you to get into this field? Was it your own health journey?
There was several things. There was from my own health journey, and then losing the 70 pounds and realizing what stress does to not just the adrenals, but how the liver processes things and how hormones are then processed. And it's kind of like using the analogy of like a house fire. We call the firemen to come in and take care of the house fire. So they leave a mess. Well, you don't call them same firemen back in and to repair it. So you call the carpenter. And that's kind of like the analogy where I am. I help walk beside the client, and we use different herbs and tinctures to help build them from the root up so that they have that nutritional foundation as well as energy and all the things to thrive. So that was like the first initial space of like diving down into that natural way for me. And then also seeing my nephew and my sister go through their experience was definitely a bigger plunge into what I do today.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. And I'm so excited that you're here to help with so many. By the way, the website, just want to establish it's wholeandwellco.com. And how else can we reach out to you?
406-765-7259. That's 406-765-7259.
Perfect. And we're going to talk today about all that you do from gut health to fitness to everything. And, I appreciate you sharing your own journey with this. And you mentioned also you were dyslexic as a child, right?
I did not learn how to read and write until the fifth grade. And, this will date me, but back when I was in the fifth grade, it was not a common thing of having dyslexic, or people didn't know how to help people that were dyslexic.
Mm-hmm.
And I commend my parents. They literally were trying everything that they knew in their power at that time, from Sylvan Learning Center to different colored sheets, how to read. I mean, they literally tried everything for me. I think that everything was a positive, and knowing how to read, and not that a lot of people are categorized that if you can't read, it does not mean that you don't understand. So just learning how to navigate how you learn, and you may learn differently. So I always say, from dyslexic to doctor, you can do it if you have a passion and a drive.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And clearly learning, that you could do this, it's possible. And there's so much that we can get to the root cause of so much and help people improve their digestion, and lose that stubborn weight. So what else for today did you want to share? Because there was a lot to what you do.
Well, I think I'll just go over a little bit more of what I do in-house,
Sure.
and then how I also help people virtually. So in-house, we do this scanning. It's called electrodermal screening, and it's where we find, it's kind of like biofeedback. So we get to see where your body is in a snapshot of, does it have inflammation? What organ points have inflammation? And then also on the return, like, are they those points slow and sluggish, like they don't have enough energy to do their job? So I like to even dig deeper and say, why is that? Because God, we are created like human beings to thrive. So why is there disruption? So I like to even dig deeper and see how your foundation of minerals are, how your systemic fungus, mold, yeast, bacteria, virus, all the things. And we can even go down a little rabbit hole of, talking about even parasites. And yes, we live in America, or I live in America, and there's parasites here too. And we just need to get those little guys out so that we can build up our health. And in that process, we're able to see what exactly specific nutrition or customized nutrition will work specifically for the individual. So obviously that's an in-house thing. I do work with people all over the world, the US and the world. And we do things a little differently. Obviously, I can't, scan them, but we do from anywhere from blood testing to even just having the conversation if they don't have those resources. And we can go by, let's try this type thing. We also in-house have, it's Carter's fluid management, or deep fluid management. And what that is really targeting the deep lymphatic or interstitial space. So our bodies are so innately created that we know how to get rid of toxins, but if the exits aren't open, we kind of just like recirculate those toxins, and that's where dis-ease starts to form. And so helping the body just be able to get rid of those toxins on its own is phenomenal. We also have whole body red light. So it's like 6 mats that you lay under this amazing LED red light so that you get all of the good stuff into your body. And what it does, it helps your body to absorb those nutritions and get nutrition into the very center of the cell, into the mitochondria. And then I always like to then follow it up with the deep lymphatic, because what that does is you got everything going. So now let's move those toxins out. Then, of course, we have the sauna and infrared sauna. I have people come different times of the day and utilize that. And then we also have a PEMA mat, so pulse electric magnetic activation mat. where it's molecular activation and getting those cells working. If you don't have your cells working and activated, it's hard to build health. So we look at health in all sorts of ways.
Thank you for sharing that. And we also got to remind everyone how we can reach out to you. We're about halfway through the show. As you know, we always do this, but we're not taking that break for you. We're going to go straight through. So remind us of the website, phone number, and of course, how we can contact you. A social media page as well.
Yes, all social. So Facebook and Instagram. I do have some other ones, but I obviously don't check them very much, but it's Whole and Well CO. And then the website is wholeandwellco.com. Phone number 406-765-7259.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. And let me just ask a random question, if you don't mind me interrupting for a sec. Always hear about gut health, gut health, gut health. And doctor told you to take probiotics. It's so confusing to me because how do you know what probiotics your body needs? There's so many different forms and millions of these acidophilus, blah, 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 something. Could you share a little bit about that? Thanks.
Open a little big of I'm going to go down a rabbit hole for a minute.
Okay.
So probiotics, pre and probiotics are amazing. Then again, if we have a lot of toxins, like I said, systemically, and even if there's parasites. So my first take on it, if you're in-house, I like to do like kind of make sure the pathways are open, make sure that the toxins can exit. So really focusing on the liver, making sure the digestion's working, you have digestive enzymes. Again, we live in America, so we're short on nutrition dense foods. So even just getting a really good enzyme is going to help get things going. So do that first and then bring in the pre and probiotics. So you can actually build up the gut microbiome, and it's kind of like weed, seed, feed, and protect your garden. We do that with our gut as well. We need to make sure we weed out the bad guys, seed in the good stuff, feed it, and then so that you can thrive.
Got it. All right.
To answer your question, there is a lot of variety, but I like to make sure that the digestion's working first and then bring that in, and even just simply adding in those cruciferous vegetables, so the dark leafy greens can really start that process.
Amazing. All right. Thank you for that. And then, specific tests to find out what your body needs. What do you do for that?
Well, in-house, we do the electrodermal screening, but if I was to work with you virtually, there's all sorts of things. So some people, women specifically, we look at their hormones. We look at, we do a Dutch test and see how your hormones are converting in the liver. We always go back to the liver because hormones are created in the liver, even cholesterol. So when people say they have high cholesterol, is it really high cholesterol? Is there a liver congestion? Again, working with each other, if I was to work with someone, we work through that process and find out what really is the best way to navigate through that. Sometimes it's simply just adding in more water. And I know that people are like, I hear water, drink water, drink water. First of all, make sure it's a good quality water, that you're not drinking just chemicals. And then also make sure that you, again, I am not a medical doctor, so what I say here is for educational purposes only. But talk to your doctor and see if, half your body weight in ounces is a good place to start, because a lot of times we get busy in society, we get busy in our work, and we forget to take care of ourselves.
Self-care, right? Put that oxygen mask on first, and especially as parents, we never do. Right? So true.
That is so true. So true. And if, just taking a moment to pause, and if we are able to take care of ourselves, then we can have the potential to take care of others even more.
Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, Rachel, what else is on tap for us today? So excited to get to see you today. It's so much better of a connection one-on-one like this when I get to see you face to face.
I love it. Well, coming into the holiday season, I love to talk about, really maintaining health through the holidays. And what are some things that you can do as an individual to make sure that you're not grabbing all the sweet treats? Yes, I'm not going to say never indulge on them, but like be realistic about it. Like, first of all, do we need all of it, or do we need all the quantity that we have? So some simple little tricks to help that process is, again, drinking your water even ahead of time of those parties, drinking warm water with, if you don't have a nut allergy, taking about an eighth a cup of nuts and your warm water. And what that does, it kind of tricks the brain that you need those, excuse me, you need those sweet treats. So it allows your body to feel nourished. And then it doesn't overindulge on those things that you see as eye candy.
Got it. Perfect. Overindulging. Yeah. Well, we got Thanksgiving tomorrow, first and foremost. One day people say, oh, it's okay. But that one day, what happens to your body when you overeat? I feel like the next day I want to eat, continue. My stomach expands and I'm just like, I want to eat more and more and more. Could you share that concept? What happens?
Oh, that's a good point, because it takes, when we feed our body, I'm going to just pick on sugar for a while, because it's kind of a lot of things that we see. And sugar feeds the bad guys in our gut. So if we continue to feed those guys, the good guys don't get the nutrients that we should have so that we can thrive and have that good microbiome.
Yeah.
So what it does is it takes your microbiome 5 days at minimum to regenerate. So once you've had that sugar, it's going to continue to call out like, hey, I want this sugar. Hey, I want this sugar. But it takes due diligence. It takes really commitment to sticking with the goals. Like, we have to look at ourselves and be truthful to ourselves and say, does this help us reach our goals? And giving ourselves grace, so there's no shame and blame and all the things, because that creates stress and the adrenals and cortisol goes up, and then you have a whole nother factor in that. So really giving yourself grace, making sure you're giving yourself nutrients, even though you're indulging in that sugar of that day.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for that. And we still got 6 minutes left in your show today. And more about the holidays, because it's coming. This is the season, right? And anything we could do to prepare to try to eat better during the holidays. I mean, like, is it a matter of drinking water with your meal, hydrating more, filling up that stomach more? What do you suggest to people out there who are going to be tempted?
Yeah, so I don't like to say drink water with your meal, because you need that acid in your stomach to sterilize. So even if you do it proactively and drink water beforehand is very beneficial. And then on the inside, when you come home from those parties, make sure you stay hydrated as well. Some things also to consider is even just moving your body. And I don't mean like going to the gym and making sure you're doing CrossFit or cardio, but just actually taking a walk in nature. I live out in Timbuktu where it's cold as well. And I still do that because I enjoy getting out in nature, taking that moment to pause, and it kind of resets your brain when you breathe in all that fresh air and see the nature around you. So drink your water, take a walk, be in the moment, not on your phones. So it really soak up your surroundings.
Got it. Interesting. All right. That's good to know. And then it gets confusing with nutrition. I got to be honest, with eating organic and eating raw, but then you go to the supermarket and you're so tempted by everything that's on those end shelves. What do you eat? That's another temptation when you walk into a supermarket, right?
When you go to a supermarket, make sure you have eaten a meal beforehand. So that allows you to not be tempted on all of the things. And then also just stick to your list, make a list and stick to it. And organic, non-organic, there's definitely better options if your budget allows to go organic. But then being mindful of, the dirty dozen, look it up.
Yeah.
It's, there's some that are, better to make sure that you get that aren't all those pesticides on them. Or then just wash your vegetables, fruit and vegetables. Some easy little tips is bring those fruit and vegetables home, soak them in water with vinegar and salt water, and help get all that extra added stuff off of them so that, first of all, they're going to last longer. And second of all, they're not harmful to your gut.
Interesting. All right. And by the way, if you are just tuning in, Rachel Borntrager, would you mind just telling us just a little bit about your education background, how you got here? Good for people to get to know you on a more personal level. I know we got your backstory, but education wise, so how did you, become certified in this?
So, like I said, radiology was, I got my associates in radiology. And then I went on to get my certificate in IIN to be a holistic health coach. And then I continued on. So I got a program through the Wellness Way and did their practitioner course. And then I did the course through the school that I graduated from International Naturopathy. And it was a satellite out of Rapid City. So that's where I graduated from. And then I went on to pass my boards. It's a board certification through Doctors of Natural Medicine, and it's their headquarters are in Las Vegas.
Got it. Okay, good to know. And now, are you able to work with people in all states, or how does, that line work, or just where you are at, or can you work worldwide?
The above. So what I do is just educate people so that they can listen to their body, that they can know what foods will work for their body, and then just helping to navigate that whole thing. So what I do for people is educate them so that they can make a decision of what is best for them. And I can definitely work virtually all over the world. Time change and time zones can get a little tricky. India is my favorite, where it's like 12 and a half hours difference.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, this is great news. And could you share some of your testimonies and client stories? I know you've helped so many people.
Absolutely. So one of my first clients that I ever worked with, of course, you're just getting out there. And she went from, well, first of all, she lost weight in 3 months that I worked with her. She had lost 20 some pounds. And she was on medication from her doctor that, again, working with her doctor to get off of it because she did not want to stay on it. But being that we changed her nutrition, or she changed her nutrition and lost weight, she was then able to get off of the medications that she wanted to with her doctor's help. We also have a lady that sent me pictures around the holidays of an empty closet and hangers that there was no clothes on it. And she's like, I'm so excited. None of this stuff fits. I've had to get rid of so I can bring in the new stuff. So that was super exciting. And to see her success. Then we have people that my favorite is when people go and do medically, like literally everything, and they still aren't getting results. And they come to me as their last resort. And we look at their nutrition, we look at their absorption of nutrition, and tweak things here and there so that they can have the success, and they have then energy and potential lose weight, or, everyone's got their own goals. I have a lady that working with her for 2 years, and just changing her nutrition and helping her body to get to where it needs to be. She was then able to get pregnant and add to her family.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. We love hearing this positive news. And we still got 2 more minutes, Rachel. Unfortunately, my gosh, why does it go so quick? Yeah, only 2 minutes left in the show. How did you want to sum it up for today? My goodness.
Joy every moment. Listen to your body. And if you were to work with me, we build health instead of chase disease. And to reach me at 406-765-7259, or look me up on the internet at wholeandwellco.com. There's courses online, even if you wanted to just we have a sugar detox on there, and just having educational information can guide you through the holidays as well.
Oh, we love it. Thank you so much. And when someone wants to reach out, you offer an initial free consultation to see if it's a good fit, and offer, they give them answers to their questions.
We have a 20-minute free consult, and you can go to the internet, to the website, to wholeandwellco.com. And then there's a drop down, and it's called Simple Practice. book a call that works for you, or just give me a call if that's too painful. 406-765-7259.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. And looking forward to the next time we get to connect. Thanks again, Rachel.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.